Remember this from Tesla Optimus, the official account on X, just over a month ago, with the caption trying to be useful lately. In this clip, we saw an Optimus learning useful new tasks. In this particular video, including putting battery cells into what essentially is a representation of a battery pack. This was just over 1 month ago. Keywords here were trying to be useful lately. The whole purpose of Optimus over time is to become increasingly useful to do a wider variety of tasks. And this demonstration showed an Optimus handling what I really wish Tesla had have called the BFC, but we'll just call it the 4680 cell because that's a nice, boring and accurate name for these things. Noticing, by the way, during this demo that it can recover from mistakes that it makes. In other words, it could, in theory, be fully autonomous. We saw humans training these side by side. The end result is this: an Optimus humanoid robot in this demonstration video appearing, at least in the demo, to be involved in the battery cell manufacturing process. However, this was just a demo with the captions clearly indicating Optimus is currently being tested at one of our factories with a continuously decreasing rate of human interventions. It now also can take regular walks around the office. This is pretty cool to see, by the way, especially given the rate of progress. Kind of still got a bit of that Joe Biden shuffle, but nowhere near as much as it originally did. And this is amazing progress in such a short period of time. Well, today we have a major update. I'll cut to the chase and then we'll work back from there. So, the chase, the bombshell that Tesla just dropped, the very last note on explaining why Elon Musk is an absolute legend, the GOAT, and Tesla would have done jack shit without him. Under Tesla's 2024 milestones/achievements, deployed 2 Optimus bots performing tasks in the factory autonomously. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We have confirmation from Tesla now, the very first time they've ever mentioned this, that there are now 2 Tesla Optimus humanoid robots working autonomously in one of their factories, adding useful labor. I'm just going to say that one more time. There are now 2 operational Optimus humanoid robots doing useful tasks somewhere in one of Tesla's factories. 2 of them operating now. Not bad for a stock pump and a fake project that's not actually real. This is a huge moment. It was inevitable. I mean, obviously, between first prototype and mass production, obviously there's going to be this step, but this is big. The fact that there's now a case in a Tesla factory for an Optimus humanoid robot, 2 in fact, to actually add value. This is a big deal. Now, it's extremely likely that whatever task or tasks, I don't know if they're working on the same thing or separate jobs, is boring, simple, and repetitive. It is also possible, although if I'm going to guess, probably unlikely, that the task or tasks are also somewhat dangerous. That is eventually what Optimus will be going after. Once it had a wider range of functions and capabilities, boring, repetitive, and dangerous tasks first, but that won't be where it ends. However, these kind of tasks are the most obvious low-hanging fruit. As I've mentioned previously, unlike a multi-thousand-pound death machine on wheels, aka a vehicle, in which the stakes are extremely high and the cost of errors can literally be fatal, meaning an extremely cautious approach must be taken. We are, of course, referring to autonomous vehicles. A fairly lightweight humanoid robot working in a factory situation has much lower stakes. Depending on where it's deployed and on what task, the risk of mistakes, as opposed to the worst outcome being death, following that severe injury, permanent disability, and so on, is probably employees getting pissed off at how annoying this stupid bot is because it keeps making mistakes and slowing me down. Big difference. This means that Tesla can be more aggressive in developing the capabilities of these humanoid robots. So we're already at 2 bots performing useful tasks in a Tesla factory today. Now, they may still occasionally require intervention, but this is very different from being trained on how to do a task. They're now actually performing the tasks, keyword here, autonomously. Tesla's rollout plan for the Optimus humanoid robot. This is a combination of what Tesla's suggested or directly said and my speculation. Informed speculation, how do I say informed? Well, I have a brain and I used it, is as follows. Number 1, train Optimus humanoid robots to perform very simple but useful tasks in portions of Tesla's production system and or elsewhere in their factories. Because they're their own first customer, it's okay if initially Optimus is a net drag on productivity, makes mistakes, slows things down, because Tesla's not going to get pissed off because it's their own product they're developing, as opposed to a customer who'd get super pissed if it was useless. Once you've solved one task and you can begin deploying your first, your second, your third, your 12th, your 50th Optimus humanoid robot doing that one boring repetitive task autonomously, which will actually save costs and actually drive the price of Tesla's products down, You don't need to pay these things a salary, and they can work a hell of a lot more than 40 hours a week, give or take. Once you've got one task down, work on the next task and continually add generalized tasks that involve moving objects, picking up, placing, inserting, screwing, connecting, lifting. Train the Optimus bots to do useful factory tasks in automotive and then other factories, your own facilities first. And once they have a sufficient range of capabilities and can demonstrably, autonomously, consistently perform these tasks with a high rate of success without human intervention, suddenly you have a viable product you can sell to other companies, initially in factories, initially automotive factories. Then bam, out of nowhere, Tesla now has an extremely useful product operating in its own factories, meaningfully reducing its labor costs, meaning the vehicle prices and other product prices come down because of the labor costs being reduced. Then you can start displacing UAW members who had the gall to strike and demand that they were paid more than they're worth, who will now be slowly getting replaced by humanoid robots. They fucked around, they're going to find out. As word spreads of the incredible economics of an Optimus humanoid robot in a factory situation that can essentially work 24/7 as opposed to 8/5, you'll find many thousands and then tens of thousands, and I won't stop there, of Optimus humanoid robots working in factories across the world, including automotive factories and other warehouse type situations, picking up parts, moving stuff, doing fairly simple manual tasks. But I won't stop there. With this huge fleet of robots now performing real tasks in the real world, collecting data to train, to become even more dexterous, even more capable of manipulating objects, moving throughout the physical world, interacting with humans, you can continually add new features, roll them out via the software update. Sound familiar? Bingo. Much like autonomy. Having two Optimus humanoid robots already performing tasks in a Tesla factory autonomously is the equivalent of having two vehicles on roads that can drive without intervention, at least not frequent intervention. This is a really, really big deal. And again, Optimus is a generalized robot in a humanoid form. In theory, it will be able to do any task a human can do over time, except maybe OnlyFans. Although, you know, that could even be possible. There's some sick fucks out there. What's important to understand is it's not just going to be able to do physical manual labor, but Optimus will become increasingly intelligent over time. We saw earlier, if we're being honest here, the Optimus humanoid robot has already got Joe Biden beat for its ability to locomote. It looks a little bit less like it shit itself than he does when he walks. But this is pretty basic stuff, right? Just moving. However, given the fact that it's already now operating in a Tesla factory doing useful tasks, I think an Optimus humanoid robot's already exceeded Biden's intelligence as well. The bar's pretty low, I admit, but my point stands. Now, we're going to, in a moment, run through these milestones achieved at Tesla since 2018 under Elon Musk's leadership. Thought it was worthwhile revisiting. However, I do just want to mention the implications for Tesla investors or potential Tesla investors on successful scaling of a humanoid robot are insane. Please take the time to build your own Tesla valuation model, at least over the next decade, but probably further than that as well, just accepting that your level of uncertainty increases enormously with each passing year. Imagine what happens if Tesla does solve more tasks, begin selling these robots to customers, and bringing in colossal amounts of revenue. Here's how to think about it. The number of bots, Tesla bots, in existence, multiplied by what they're charging per month on average for the software to operate those. That's how much revenue these things will be bringing in per year. Now, on a recent Diablo 4 stream/Q&A session, by the way, how ridiculous is it that technically counts as work for Musk, showing off X's game streaming capabilities? He disclosed a few key things. One, he believes over time there'll be at least a 1-to-1 ratio of humanoid robots to humans on Earth. I'm going to round some numbers here just to make it nice and simple. Personally, I expect the global population's probably going to peak around somewhere close to the 10 billion mark before potentially plummeting. That plummet is already happening in portions of the world. I'm not going to get into this detailed discussion, but let's just call it 10 billion. Nice round number. Probably pretty accurate over the longer term. That would mean there'd be 10 billion humanoid robots. How many of those did Tesla sell? What if they get 20% of that? Or 30% of that? Who knows? But this is how to think about this problem. But he also mentioned there could be up to 10 humanoid robots per human. We could be talking about 100 billion humanoid robots. So here's an extremely clear way to think about this. Just imagine hypothetically that Tesla alone has 10 billion humanoid robots active on Earth. Now, again, use your own number. I'm just explaining how to think about this, right? That would be a 10% share of 100 billion or a 20% share of 50 billion. You get the point. It is a possible number. Now, what would Tesla be charging per month for the software to operate these things? Keeping in mind that they can essentially work 3, maybe 4 times as many hours per week as a typical human can. Currently, Tesla charging $100 a week for their autonomous software, which is not yet fully autonomous. Over time, this is going to dramatically increase, in my opinion. A typical automotive worker in the US, for example, makes 6 figures of compensation per year, $100,000. Imagine if a Tesla humanoid robot in the future could do twice as much per year or 3 times as much. It's a lot of value there. So let's just say that the software is $1,000 per month. Now, again, use your own number. This is nice and round and could be more, could be less. If you guys want to see, by the way, my actual estimates in the worst case and the best case and somewhere in between, including for the software, the size of the Tesla bot fleet, the rollout, bots per year, etc. Check out my valuation model exclusively on Patreon. Just join at the investor level and above so you can access it. Again, better to make your own, but you can see my assumptions. I've thought about the worst case, I've thought about the best case, and I've thought about in between. So let's just say, round numbers here. Now, I'm talking super long term. It's not going to happen tomorrow, but so I'm going to be more conservative. Despite the fact that we discussed that Tesla could potentially have 10 billion humanoid robots of theirs, just they've produced on Earth long term. Let's just use 1 billion. Let's assume that each of those humanoid robots has software that requires $1,000 per month, which is nothing. Imagine having an employee that you only pay $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month times 1 billion humanoid robots times 12 months in a year. Let's see how much revenue that works out to be. These are such big numbers that this is what happens when you attempt to do the numbers on a Google calculator. Now, obviously, the math geeks know what's going on here, but for everyone else, this number's so fucking big that the calculator essentially said, computer says no, get fucked, mate. This is obscene. I want to see the actual number here on screen right now. That's the actual number. I ain't kidding. 1 billion here, count them. 1 billion times 1,000 times 12. You know what this number is? 12 trillion fucking dollars of revenue per year. And that's at $1,000 a month, which again, compare that to a typical annual income. Now, I'm going to say it again. I think it's obvious that there will be at least a 1-to-1 ratio of humanoid robots to humans long term. This thing seems just obvious to me. Everyone on Earth could benefit from having a humanoid robot to help them around the house, to do tasks, even just that. Forget about humanoid robots actually doing work outside of a typical home situation. They're in addition, but just everyone on Earth is going to benefit from having one of these. So it's extremely reasonable that there'll be at least a 1-to-1 ratio of humanoid robots to humans on Earth, right? That means that there'll be 10 billion of their things. So even if Tesla just had a 10% share of those robots, that'd be a billion and again, I know this is a long-term estimate, okay? This is why I modeled this thing out over multiple decades, but a billion robots, $1,000 a month, which is a pretty low number for software that allows this thing to itself add more than $100,000 of value per year, times 12 months a year. And we're talking $12 trillion in revenue, which, by the way, is extremely high margin. Why? Because it's software. I'm just going to say that one more time. If Tesla has a share of between 1 to 10% of all the humanoid robots on Earth over the long term, depending on whether there's 10 billion or 100 billion, we're talking $12 trillion a year of revenue at $1,000 a month for the software. That's fuck all in terms of $1,000 per month. It could be 2,000, it could be 3,000, it could be 5,000. I don't fucking know. These numbers sound so absurd. I'm just going to say it again. $12 trillion a year. Jesus fucking Christ. If 80% of that is profit, again, pretty low overheads and costs given the fact that it's software, we could be talking approximately $10 trillion per year in profits. Per year. Not once off, per year. And of course, the haters will attempt to laugh me off of the internet. And I mean, good on them, laugh the pain away. But this is the way that I think about this company. And again, these are just ballpark numbers to show you how to think about this. You go, oh, that's stupid, bro. It's not going to be a billion. Maybe it's only 100 million. We're still talking $1 trillion a year. That's assuming only an 80% profit margin. And if you think 100 million is too many, 10 million, we're still talking $100 billion a year in profits, equivalent to Apple's entire business in 2023. And that's just from 10 million humanoid robots at $1,000 a month, assuming 80% profit on that software. Now, some context might help. Tesla's already at a vehicle production rate of about 2 million a year. If they had a bot production rate at that level, it'd take 5 years to get 10 million of the things out into the marketplace. And there's way less stuff, physical matter, physical material that needs to go in a bot versus a vehicle, meaning the production ramp is likely to happen faster. Oh, and never mind the fact that bots can help make more bots. And in what scenario does Tesla only deploy 10 million humanoid robots of the 10 to 100 billion robots, humanoid robots that ultimately end up on Earth? Keyword there, Earth. Let's not talk about elsewhere. 10 million humanoid robots. This would literally be 0.1% of 10 billion or 0.001% of 100 billion. Now, typically, Tesla's market share historically, multiple double-digit percentage points. In the US, it's about 50, globally, 15, 20, give or take, depending on the market. Now that I've put everyone but the absolute number nerds to sleep, and again, there is a reason I keep buying this stock with every spare cent, keep banging the drum, keep making the same fucking video every fucking day for years in a row. When I say the same shit every day, let's be honest here. As I've said in the past, I believe that Tesla's humanoid robot business over the ultra long term will dwarf everything else, including autonomy, robo-taxis, the EV business, energy storage, everything. Dwarf it, make it look like a rounding error. And I literally mean a rounding error. As we saw, the numbers get absurd. This is why I've developed my Tesla valuation model to guide some of my decision making. And my decision making over the last 8+ years has been, got money, buy Tesla. Now, the thesis has grown. There was no humanoid robot when I first began buying Tesla stock. And if there wasn't, I probably still wouldn't be buying. But there is, so I am. Again, if you want to see my valuation model, head over to Patreon with the link in the pinned comment and join at the investor level and above and take a look at my own estimates. Now, let's run over Tesla's achievements since 2018 under Elon Musk's leadership. 2018, they hit 5,000 Model 3s per week. And Model 3 became the best-selling electric vehicle in the United States. Giga Nevada reached an annual battery production rate of 20 gigawatt hours. Tesla launched Navigate on autopilot. And then Model 3 became the best-selling electric vehicle globally in a single year. Best-selling EV in the US and globally. Killing it. 2019, the first deliveries of Model 3 to Europe and China. The Model Y was unveiled. The Cybertruck was unveiled. Also, this YouTube channel launched. Gigafactory Shanghai begins production just 11 months after breaking ground. I mean, this was phenomenal, by the way. I mean, getting shit done in China at record speed seems the norm. If you were following the story at the time, I mean, it went from a literal fucking field of mud, shout out to Elon's biggest hater, to beginning production in less than a fucking year. I mean, that's insane. And Tesla delivered over 367,000 vehicles globally. By the way, they're now doing more than that per quarter, and this was only 2019, a few years ago. Energy storage surpasses 3.2 gigawatt hours deployed globally cumulatively, with 1.65 gigawatt hours deployed that year alone. Again, this is huge, right? In a single year, basically doubling global energy deployments. Version 3 of the Solar Roof launched, and over 4,000 new supercharger stalls were installed. In 2020, the 4680 cell was announced at Battery Day. Tesla became the most valuable car maker at a more than $400 billion market capitalization. Tesla achieved full-year profitability for the first time in company history, delivered almost 500,000 vehicles. By the way, remember there was a scamdemic in 2020 and forced factory shutdowns. 3.02 gigawatt hours of energy storage deployed. And remember, a year prior, they were at 3.2. Nearly doubled again in a single year. What the fuck? Model Y production begins at Fremont. Giga Shanghai reaches 250,000 annual production rate. It's now around 1 million. Launched FSD beta. Supercharger network expands to over 23,000 stalls. Model 3 becomes the world's best-selling premium sedan in Q4. By the way, not electric vehicle, premium sedan. 2021 delivered over 930,000 vehicles globally. Energy storage deployments reached 3.99 gigawatt hours. The year prior, this was just over 3. So up about 25%, which is huge. Achieved record annual revenue of $53.8 billion and record annual profit of $5.5 billion. Unveiled the Optimus humanoid robot. Launched a new Model S and X. 1 millionth Model 3 produced. Started opening global supercharger network to all electric vehicles. 30,000 plus supercharger stalls operational worldwide. 2022. Started Model Y deliveries at Giga Berlin and Giga Texas with a record more than 1.3 million vehicles delivered that year. Tesla also produced the 1 millionth 4680 cell. The first production of semi-trucks were delivered to PepsiCo. And Tesla enabled anyone in the US and Canada who has purchased FSD to request FSD beta. Model S Plaid sets production car lap record at Nürburgring. Over 16 gigawatt hours of energy storage deployed cumulatively. Again, over 16 gigawatt hours. 2021, we're looking at 3.99. Next year, 16. What the fuck, bro? Over 40,000 supercharger stalls worldwide. And Tesla Insurance expands to multiple US states. 2023, Model Y becomes the world's best-selling car. This was a mic drop, big swing and dick moment. I mean, holy shit, dude. The premium price, this thing is selling more than vehicles half the cost for consumers to buy. The likes of the RAV4, the Camry, no. Corolla, no. Model Y, world's best-selling car. Insane. 1 million Tesla vehicles on the road in Europe. 20 millionth 4680 cell produced. 5,000 builds production rate hit at Giga Berlin and Giga Texas. To be clear, that's 5,000 vehicles per week production rate, about 250,000 per year. Giga Shanghai reaches production capacity. 12,000 plus new supercharger stalls opened. Tesla Charging Connector adopted as the North American charging standard. By the way, they literally called it the North American charging standard before anyone else had adopted it. Why? Because they knew this would happen. Powerwall installations started in 4 new countries and 500,000 installations were completed globally. Tesla launched the Powerwall 3. The upgraded Model 3 launched in Europe and Asia. First deliveries of the Cybertruck. Energy storage deployments surpassed 31 gigawatt hours cumulative. Optimus Generation 2 unveiled. 50,000 plus supercharger stalls operational globally. And launched V4 supercharger posts. And 2024 so far. We're only up to June. FSD supervised using end-to-end neural networks rolls out to customers who have purchased or are subscribed to FSD in the US and Canada. Upgraded Model 3 deliveries start in North America. Hit 600,000 Powerwalls installed globally. Model Y achieves the highest possible safety rating by IIHS. Tesla produced their 6 millionth vehicle and hit more than 1 billion miles driven on FSD. Cybertruck production hits 1,000 per week. 4680 ramp continues successfully. And Tesla developed 3 major design revisions of Optimus and 4 revisions of the hand in the last 2 years, with Optimus autonomously navigating daily in their offices and labs. And, as we heard, deployed 2 Optimus bots performing tasks in the factory autonomously. And it's only June. Just a quick closing thought. Imagine what the recap of Tesla's accomplishments from 2024 to mid-2030 look like. In particular, Tesla robotaxis and the Optimus humanoid robot. Just a little bit of food for thought. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens, now AG1. If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back. So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.